Hey up guys, my name is Mick Stardust and I just thought to do an ADHD test online, live. I've done one before, got something like 96, 98%, something like that. So I just thought it'd be interesting to do one, so let's go. Right, how often do you have trouble wrapping up details of a project once the challenging parts have been done? Very often. How often do you have difficulty getting things in order when you have to do a task that requires organisation? Very often. How often do you have problems remembering appointments or obligations? Very often. When you have a task that requires a lot of thought, how often do you avoid delay getting started? Very often. How often do you fidget and squirm when you have to sit down for a long time? Very often. How often do you feel overactive and compelled to do things like when you are driven by a motor? God, very often. How often do you make careless mistakes when you have to do work on a boring or difficult project? Very, very often. How often do you have difficulty keeping your attention when you're doing boring or repetitive stuff? Very often, even this is hard. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people are doing? In a minute. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people say when they are speaking to you directly? Very often. How often do you misplace or difficult, God, doing things at home? Very often. I'm always losing my keys and I go into a frenzy. How often do you get distracted by noise around you? Very often. How often do you leave your seat at meeting situations you were expected to remain still? Often. How often do you feel restless or fidgety? Very often. How often do you have difficulty unwinding and relaxing? I can't relax. Very often. How often do you find yourself talking too much in social situations? Often, but sometimes I'll get overwhelmed and feel anxiety and stuff, so it's sometimes actually. When you're in a conversation, how often do you find yourself finishing sentences? Very often. I think, God, man, I'll finish that for you, really fuck up. How often do you have difficulty waiting your turn in situations when turn is required? Very often. How often do you interrupt when they are very busy? Very often. Email forduk@hotmail.com. I agree. Where's my bloody score? Results. High score for ADHD traits. Your test result indicates the presence of several ADHD traits. These ADHD traits can significantly affect daily life and impacting attention, impulsivity and hyperactivity. Yes, so that's it guys. Just thought it'd be interesting. Seems I've got ADHD, which you already knew anyway. I've got a new in my teens when it was a thing. At school there wasn't any medication, it wasn't a thing, so it really affected me schooling, so yeah.